Let's first start this video off by talking about what the benefits of using a virtual or digital Kanban board are. Usually we create Kanban boards digitally through different project management tools like Trello or Asana, which I'll be showing you in this video as well, but we have quite a few unique benefits. The first benefit to using a digital Kanban board is that it can be accessed by almost anyone anywhere in the world. So if you're working remote, you're working hybrid, you're working in office, wherever you're working, you can give anyone in the world access to your Kanban board and they can jump in and start working with you very, very quickly. The second benefit is that most digital Kanban boards are very, very easy to use. That means that someone can jump into your board very, very quickly, look at the different columns, help you customize them, create a few cards, and then you're off and you're able to start as soon as you need to. The third benefit is that many of these project management tools like Trello and Asana that let you actually create a board also support different features like allowing repeating tasks, as well as allowing comments on different tasks. So you can really start to build your board out and keep track of updates directly within each task or each card. The fourth benefit is that many of these different types of tools are completely free. That means you don't have to spend any money on a whiteboard, on magnetic stickers, on sticky notes, on pens or markers or what have you that you would need to with a physical board, because with our virtual, everything's right there, right on the cloud, accessible from your web browser. And again, many of these different types of project management tools, they offer free plans, which is great when you're just starting out. All right, now that we understand some of the benefits of Kanban, let's go into Trello. This is one of the main screens that you'll see when you go to Trello.com and you sign up for the free plan. From here, let's go ahead and click on this Kanban template, and we can see here that this is the Kanban template that Trello provides. We'll go ahead and click Create a Board from the template, and I'll go ahead and name this as Test Kanban Board. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck Keep Template Cards. I'm actually going to uncheck both of them because I want to create all of our tasks right from scratch. So you can see here we have 7 different columns, and in Trello, they call them lists. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and archive a few of the different lists. That way we can start cleaning this up and make it a little bit more beginner friendly. Now let's start moving tasks from the backlog into our in progress. So I'm going to change this from our to do to in progress, and we have 3 different columns here: backlog, in progress, and done. Let's say that I wanted to set the work in progress limit to 3 tasks at a time. I might put in here limit 3, just like this, work in progress limit 3. Remember, what that means is we can only have up to 3 tasks or 3 cards in here in this column at any given time. If we exceed 3, that means that we're working on too much for that specific Kanban board. So let's start out with the easiest ones first. I'm going to take our quick wins here, like cancel subscriptions and cleaning out a closet. And let's go ahead and do editing the resume. So these are the 3 tasks that we'd be working on. It's in progress. We've just started working on them, and we can't exceed this work in progress limit. So I've got to finish and complete one of these tasks before I move on. All I need to do is drag it from the in progress to the done, and I can mark it as complete right there. That means that it's fully completed within Trello. And now I've only got 2 tasks in here. So if I want to, I can go ahead and start working on a third one. By adhering to your work in progress limit, you'll ensure that you're not overwhelming yourself with excess work. In this case, let's say that we completed each of these 4, then I could go ahead and move them here to the done column. And then I could go ahead and mark these tasks as complete. It's really that simple. There's a lot more that we can do in here, and I'll show you a few different features. But if you're looking to learn more about how to use Trello or Asana, you can also check out our project management tools course, where I teach you all of this and much, much more. But for now, let's go ahead and click on this task here. And let's go ahead and add someone, meaning that whoever's added as a member here is going to be responsible for that task. In this case, I went ahead and made myself as a member, and you can see here that I am now assigned to this task. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for this other task. We'll go ahead and click members. I'll assign myself here. And we can see here now it shows this little profile photo, which makes it very easy to see who is in charge of what and who's assigned to what tasks. Additionally, when I go in here, I can also write comments. For example, I could say something like, start this task no sooner than January 1st, 2026. That way I know not to start this task that late. I can also add a description. Descriptions are a little bit lengthier, and you can put different types of instructions, links, things like that in here as well. So I'll go ahead and save that, and we can see here that it says in the comments and in the description, start this task no sooner than January 1st, 2026. So there's this little speech bubble here, and we can see the comment is added. I'll go ahead and add myself as a member to this one as well. And we can see here that we are all good to go. Now I can go ahead and start dragging these 3 tasks that I have and start working on them, moving them here when they're done, and completing them just like this. So it's pretty simple, right? That is a virtual Kanban board from a nutshell. If you haven't already, I want you to go out on Trello, sign up for a Trello account, and create your first board exactly like this. So make a backlog, make an in progress, set your work in progress limit, create a done column here, and make sure that you name your board for whatever you're going to use it for. And before we go ahead and conclude this video, let me show you a few other different features that Trello has. So in Trello, we can mark each task or each card with a label. From here, we could go ahead and click something like create a new label, or we can use the existing labels. So for example, we can color code our labels to stand for a certain task. So this task might be gym related, or let's say fitness, and we can add that as a label. And now we can mark our different tasks with our labels. So in this case, this task is finish a project management Udemy course. So I'm not going to label it as fitness. I'll label it as professional development. Go ahead and click save. Let me go ahead and apply this label. And now you can see here, we color coded it with yellow, which stands for professional development. You can use any sort of color coding you'd like. Just make sure that you remember what each one means. And if you ever forget, you could just click on the task and look at the label here. One final thing, you can also add due dates. So if you want a task to start on a specific day, you can set that date. And if you want it due at a certain date or time, you can add that as well. So today is November 5th. Let's say that I wanted to add the start date as the 6th. Here's what I would do. I would change the start date here like this. And then I would change the due date to something like, let's just say next week on the 13th. We'll give it a week. So we'll go ahead and save that. We can do reoccurring or due date reminders. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at one day before. And you can see here, now we have a due date set. This is where having all the features that we find with a virtual or digital board becomes so powerful. You can see here, the task looks completely different now. We can see that it has a yellow label standing for professional development. It also has a start date and a due date, and it has an actual task name. There's so many more things that we can do with tasks, but this was a quick look at Trello and creating a self-improvement Kanban board that you can use to take your tasks from backlog to in progress all the way to done.